taking Nigeria as a case study, you will see how that, number one, we're sort of anti-intellectual as a society.
Is that so?
Yeah. We don't reward intellectual property.
Yeah.
One, we don't reward intellect. We don't reward intelligence. And I'll give you a series of examples. A case in point, there's this show, I don't want to mention their name, where they put adults in a house, and at the end of the day, the winner goes.
They have it across Africa.
Yeah, across Africa. Now, interestingly, it didn't start with Africa, I guess. They have other versions, but the energy at which it's had in Nigeria or in Africa is more intense than.
No, you can mention Nigeria.
You
the energy here is more intense.
The energy is more intense.
People develop a rivalry.
Yes.
That doesn't end.
Doesn't make sense.
Because of fascination for an housemate.
And guess what? Because intelligence is not about degree. Because we must first, before we unpack that, we need to actually look at what intelligence is. Intelligence is not you having a PhD. Intelligence is not you speaking eloquently. Anybody can speak good English or speak big grammar. It's not about that. Intelligence is how you are able to learn quickly from your previous mistake. Intelligence is about how you are able to solve problems, how you are able to think critically.
Yes.
Intelligence is about how you are able to apply knowledge to solve relevant issues, right? So when you look at it, because scholars will give you different definition, but just looking at it in the context of our discussion, you will see how that it is tough for us as a society to engage in these constructs that I've described. That is one. And it's also difficult for us to reward these things. The best graduates in tertiary university, for instance, in Nigeria, what do we reward them with? But I can go on TikTok right now and do something funny, and I'm the celebrity. Now, we don't know the implication. There's something called modeling. An experiment was done by Albert Bandura. He calls it baby doll experiment. So he packed some children to observe an adult beating a doll. So they left the children with the baby doll, and they repeated what the adult did. That's part of where social cognitive theory came from. How that we learn from our environment. That's the concept of modeling.
Yeah.
So if I want to bring it back home, a child that grows up never to see an aeroplane will never dream of becoming a pilot. Your dreams, your aspirations, your whatever it is as a result of the things you're exposed to.
You're not permitted to imagine what you've not seen before.
Yeah. And it happened. So they brought a young girl to stay with us some years ago from one village in Oyo State. She has never seen that was when I came up with that. She has never seen an aeroplane before. So she saw, and our house is not that far from the airport. So she saw a plane flying. And she said in very local Yoruba language, she was like, Moto long phone, like a car is flying.
Wow.
That's not a car. That child, if you ask her what are you going to become, she can never mention pilots.
Yeah.
Because it is not in our context.
Yeah.
Do you see how environment shapes you as a person?
And this brings me to the next thing. Now I'm beginning to see the danger. Now this is beyond school walls.
Yeah.
Of the things that catches our interest. Algorithm system on social media works with interest.
Yeah.
If many people who claim to be intelligent identify with foolish things will trend.
Of course.
So when I'm looking at the implication of those that are called the celebrities now.
Who gave them the title?
The people celebrating them.
Because it's cheap for you to work on impulse. That's another thing about intelligence. You don't make decisions based on impulse. You make decisions based on evidence.
Yeah.
So you're not riding on emotions. Your decision is not predicated on. In fact, when you look at developmental psychology, for instance, and you look at the adolescent brain, the part of the brain responsible for decision making is not fully developed. So that is why adolescents make decisions based on their emotions, which is not smart, which is not intelligent. So today they think like an adult, tomorrow they think like a baby, and all of those things. That is a picture of what our society is like. So you bring out an intellectual discourse, you will see how emotional our people are in their ways of thinking. So critically move back and read in between the lines as simple as sarcasm is,
Yes, people can understand.
people can't get sarcasm.
And to further break this down, we're not just talking about intelligence in terms of mental prowess.
Yes.
Because you cannot say a fellow is intelligent if the fellow doesn't also have the combination of emotional intelligence.
Of course, it's part of it.
Which is what you're going to see in the way they analyze, the way they respond. One of the ways you know someone who is not smart is that they are quick to dismiss others.
That's impulse.
Yes. In the areas where they feel they have an edge. When you look at our society and you look at the things that are celebrated compared to where we claim to be going, are you concerned?
I'm concerned. I'm concerned in that we are already modeling a wrong pattern for the next generation. Because they can't do beyond what they see.
They cannot.
And there's the principle of reinforcement. What you reward, you reinforce.
Yes.
So if you reward foolishness, people are going to be foolish.
And one of the ways to reward foolishness is by paying attention to it.
Yeah. So you give it your attention. In fact, that's part of the element of modeling. I can't take you as a model if I don't give you some sort of attention. So it starts with attention to retention before I act it out.
So the people who give attention to foolish things can't claim they want a better society.
No, they can't. And that is why I started by saying you may not be conscious of it, but you are part of it. That's the crazy thing about what we call, although we look at it from the lens of school, but it's life.
No, it's life.
So
it's
curriculum
life.
is you going through certain things, certain training, certain information, you digesting
that
some
brings
information.
A predictable.
That brings identity is not tied to material things.
Yeah.
So we need to first of all reorientate ourselves, because they've conditioned us to tie who we are, our esteem, our worth to what you have.
Yes.
So we need to first change that narrative. It's not about what you have on the external. It's about who you are as a person.
As a person.
Because this is what these guys did. They don't even have the resources.
Yes.
But they just believe that they are the best.
The mind.
It starts from the mind. They just believe they are the best. They just believe they're smart. They believe they have it.
Yeah.
I listened to an audio of a former president of the US claiming that black people can't run things for themselves. Do you know how strong that is? That's an ideology right there. So he believes that if he's in a room with black people, they can't run things, he can run it. And guess what? He may not be able to run things, but he knows how to conjure what you have, bring it together, and you guys produce it. And that's where he dies.
Wow.
That's intelligence right there.
So, from what you're saying, what we identify with, what we celebrate, what we pay attention to,
and what we reward,
generally contribute to what will be mirrored to the next generation.
And what their outcome will be.
Yeah.
Because again, think about conditioning. However, if we can have a reorientation, which is tough, because the people benefiting from the decadence are not ready to stop. In fact, they are doing the modeling perfectly.
Wow.
They are more structured. There's a transference project. There's a mentorship project that they have.
Yeah.
So they have plans.
Yeah.
But the intelligent folks, because they operate on an individual basis, you've not been able to come. And I'll give you a very horrible picture now. My wife says never to use that example, so please, I'll use it so that you get the point. If I'm walking in a lonely path and I see a snake, I can kill it. But imagine going through a path at night and you see 100 snakes. You run away.
You run.
Check the turnout of election that is coming out. You see that compared to 250 million population, maybe you just have like maybe 10 million or 12 million or let's say 20 million people voting. That's another report card right there.
You feel the system frustrates some, makes it intentionally difficult to vote? It
makes it intentionally difficult. However, when we as a people begin to now understand that I have this innately, it's in me, then we now start collaborating. And as we are collaborating, we are spreading the mindset. And again, as we are doing that, we are also modeling it to next generation.
Yeah.
That is when I can see you. But right now, as it stands, no. I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel, honestly. Now, this is my own personal opinion.
Yeah.